Hello there, and welcome to another video. Uh, Today's video, we're going to be taking a look at another ship that is unique to a specific player in the game. So this ship we're going to be looking at today is the Jade Swan, which is operated by, I'm going to butcher this woman's name. I believe it is Huan Dayu. I would say I apologize for butchering her name, but she's not a real person. So yeah, I do apologize to anybody. If your name is Juan Deo, I apologize if I butchered it. So this is a pretty interesting ship. So this is her kind of her flagship, or the ship she uses in the Crimson Fleet questline. So there's going to be spoilers here. Juan Deo is one of the Crimson Fleet captains that you do a mission with throughout the Crimson Fleet questline. And on that mission, you actually will get to board and stay on her ship while she drops you off somewhere. It's a very cool, unique encounter because you get to experience a ship taking off without being the one flying it. And it's quite interesting. So, as you may know by looking at it, some of you more eagle eyes, this ship is based on the Renegade, which is a pretty interesting looking ship in itself. Now, there's some slight differences between this and the Renegade. Mainly, it's the weapons. But like with the last video when we covered Neva's ship, there is sometimes with these sort of ships, there's some kind of stark differences, which is kind of interesting. It makes them kind of feel like that they've been customized by the characters. So yeah, so if we just looking at it, it's very Hope Tech. It's got a lot of Hope Tech pieces and some Stroud Eklund. It's a very cool looking ship. It's got a good bit of cargo. Just looking at it, it's got a lot of cargo. Now, it's this is kind of meant to be more of a cargo ship, and spoilers. Juan's kind of role is she's kind of a smuggler, and it makes sense because her kind of thing, smuggling. Weirdly, she doesn't have any shielded cargo, but then I suppose she's like a straight smuggler, and she kind of uses her connections. So as for getting this ship, sadly you can't get it unless you either use console commands on PC or you rebuild it, on which I will show you how to rebuild it. So yeah, let's look at the stats. So it's got a fuel of 580, which is pretty nice. It's a lot of fuel, as you can see. We've got two big fuel tanks there at the back behind the engines. It's got a hull of 1488, which is pretty nice considering the Estrella didn't have the last one when I covered the first part of this kind of series. It didn't have a tiered version of the ship. This one does, even though it doesn't say it. When you try to spawn in the Jade Swan, there is 3 different console commands for the ships. So there is a tier 1, 2, and 3 version, even though you can't see it. And you can kind of tell by looking at the hull and the reactor. So it's got a cargo capacity of, or a hull of 1488, which is really good, like I was saying. Cargo capacity of almost 4,000, which, again, that's really, really good cargo. Like, it's definitely, It's got a C-class reactor with 40 power. Crew of 6. It's got a jump range of 30 light years, which is really good. Shield of 1350, not too bad. I believe that's probably the best shield of that class there. It's got 2 sets of weapons. It's got 3 laser turrets mounted on the front there. It's got 2 railgun, fixed railguns mounted on the back. So yeah, let's go take a look. It's quite a pricey ship to buy. So if you were going to kind of build it, you'd have to get yourself a Renegade and kind of rebuild it and stuff. But yeah. Let's go check it out. So one of the big things, the big difference between this is the color scheme. As you can see in here, it has a kind of what would you call it? It's like a kind of a two-tone. We've got like a kind of that kind of sagey kind of green color with a kind of light kind of khaki almost. A lot of windows, a lot of nice mix of Stroud Eklund and Hope Tech. Got those big Hope Tech landing gear there at the back, which I really love. And then we've got 2 of those really big C-class engines. Hoping for some good, like, kind of thrust-to-weight ratio, or power-to-weight. And if we enter through the front. It's a lot. Look at that. Look at all that storage. Weirdly, the thing with this ship that, like, even though this is meant to, like, clearly be, like, a kind of a hauler, it kind of gives me, like, a kind of like an assault ship vibe. Like the fact that it has these like kind of prows that you could mount like turreted weapons on. It's kind of interesting. Anyway, in we go. We got that big spacious Hope Tech entryway. Medpack, gimme. Up we go. So immediately we are greeted by a computer core room. Okay, very nice. And if we head back behind the computer core room, we have the docking port to the front and a little Hope Tech 1x1 companionway. And then if we head over here to this side, we have a Stroud Eklund living quarters, 2x2 living quarters, I believe. We've got nice windows looking out the sides. Really, really like that. We've got a little kind of 1x1 storage room here just for, you know, storing extra stuff. We got another window here looking down the middle of the vessel, or not the middle, off to the side. Nice and comfy. And if we head back here, we've got this really big storage room here. This thing is huge, which kind of makes sense because this ship is meant to be a hauler. Well, at least her version is meant to be. She hauls a lot of cargo on. I love the Hope Tech one because it breaks up a lot. We've got these little kind of like closed off office sections, which are kind of cool. It definitely, like, it's from a gameplay point of view, it makes for some interesting combat scenarios, which is really cool. We've got some windows there. And then if we head back, we're going to head back this way real quick and just check the other side. Over here we have, looks like we have a Stroud Eklund all-in-one berth. Yeah, we've got an all-in-one berth. Nice view there up the other side. And then we have another all-in-one berth here with some two little windows. And then another storage. Okay, nice, nice, nice. And then if we head, we're going to head back this way real quick. And we're going to go up. There we go. So up here is just the bridge. Okay, interesting. We're going to drop back down the other way very quickly. I'm a big fan of when ships kind of have the like the bridge separate. Okay, so we have a 1x1 storage room here, and it looks like an engine room. Yeah, we got a big spacious engine room. This is really cool. I like the kind of the dim lighting of the Hope Tech. It really kind of sells the vibe. Very nice. Alright, now we'll head back up to the bridge. And not too far to get to the bridge. Not too much of a maze. And then we have the bridge here. We've got this is the Viking CP bridge. Really, really cool bridge. And we've got the pilot seat. You've got your co-pilot, your navigator, and then you can have your weapons officers or your communications officers. And unlike some of the other Stroud Eklund, like the Kontiki bridge, this has your crew are actually working on stuff, so they don't talk your ear off. Let's take her home to space, see how she performs. I love those big Stroud Eklund, or the big Hope Tech engines, or landing gear. Alright, up we go. I also like the, a lot of the time with these, with the Stroud Eklund, this bridge, it's usually meant to be extended out. Whereas on this ship, they've kind of done the opposite. They've kind of got it, like, enclosed by those Hope Tech structural pieces. Which kind of make it seem a little bit more armored, which I really, really like. So, as always, I have a perk that increases my power by 5, so for the sake of this review, we're not going to be using that 5 power. This thing has a lot of power to play around with, though, which is really nice. So, weapon-wise, we've got those lasers, which are turreted, you can't fire them, and then we've got those ballistics. Very nice. It's going to have a base speed of 130, because we're using those big C-class engines. Boost speed's probably going to be 450, depending on the engines. Yeah, it's 420. Little agility test. This thing is very heavy. Yeah, the agility is very... And then finally a roll. Alright, so let's go back down to the planet and I'll show you how it's made. Alright, so we've got the ship split into 3 sections. On the top here, we have the 3 Reza 300 PHC SX pulse laser turrets from Shinigami. C-Class, 1300 range, 4 fire rate, 38 shield damage, and 4 power. We have the Odin 3050C shield generator from Protector Systems. C-Class, 11 power, 1315 shield. Back here we've got 2 Marauder 115N rapid fire railguns from Horizon Defense. C-Class, 1040 range, 4 fire rate, 33 hull, and 4 power. We have the Viking CP-110 cockpit from Stroud Eklund, 220 cargo and 4 crew station. Behind that we have the Stroud Companionway 1x1. We have a single here on this one, a single 600T Helium-3 tank from Ballistic Solutions Incorporated, 290. As well as 2 Caravel V101 cargo holds from Protected Systems that give 225 each. For the structural pieces, we have an equipment plate from Tayo mounted here holding this weapon. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 of these Hope Tech Cap A's, and then 4 more, so 8 on this altogether. And then 9, 10, 11, 12, 15. So we have 15 altogether. No, that's not right. 6, 14 altogether, sorry. These are all the same one, they've just been kind of flipped different directions. And then we also have a equipment plate here from Tayo and a porthole top. And then at the back here, we have the Hope Tech Nose B aft. So middle of the vessel, we have the Hope 11 Docker from Hope Tech. We have a Hope Tech Companionway 1x1, Hope Tech Computer Core Room 2x1, Stroud Living Quarters 2x2, a Stroud All-in-One Berth 2x1A, a Stroud All-in-One Berth 2x1B, Hope Tech Companionway 1x1, another Hope Tech Companionway. And then we have the Hope Tech Cargo Hull 3x3. We've got the Apollo GV300 Grav Drive from Deep Core, C-Class, 11 power, 50 jump thrust, which in the current config gives us 30. We've got another one of them 600T Helium-3 tanks. We've got 2 Supernova 2200 engines from Relodyne, C-Class, 3 power, 25,770 engine thrust, 7,650 maneuvering thrust. And then we have the SF-40 Sheared Flow Reactor from Dogstar, C-Class, 40 power, 1315 hull. For the landing gear on this part, we have 2 Hope 55 landing gear from Hope Tech. They give 4 thrust each. For the structural pieces, we have mounted here on the top, we have 2 of these Nova thruster ports. One mounted here, and one mounted here. There's also 2 more mounted. I should get these, even though they're technically on the bottom, but they are part of this slot there. We have 2 portholes, a starboard one from Nova Galactic and a port one. We've got 2 Hope Tech Nose Bs, one mounted there, one mounted there. We have 2 Hope Tech or Nova Galactic portholes, 2 mounted starboard, and then we have 2 more on the port side here. And then we have a Nova thruster array on the port side, and another one on the starboard side. Then we have 2 portholes here and here. We have a porthole top there, and then finally we have 2 Deimos braking engines, which is kind of interesting considering this is mainly Stroud and Nova Galactic, or Stroud and Hope Tech. I don't know why they didn't use the Stroud ones, but anyway. On the bottom of the vessel, we have the Hope 4 landing bay. We have the Hope Tech Companionway 1x1, the Hope Tech Engineering Bay 3x1. And then for the landing gear, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these AccuLander 11 landing gear, starboard, from Stroud Eklund. These are 2 landing thrust each. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these Caravel V104 cargo holes from Protector System, 550 each. For these structural pieces, we've got 2 of these Stroud engine bracers A, and then we have 2 of these Deimos Belly 4. Now, if we highlight the ship for the color scheme there, you can see the primary color scheme, which I will highlight there just to show you. So it seems like it is all one color. It's that green there. And then the secondary kind of color is that one there. It's kind of more of a khaki. So the ship is just those 2 colors. I will say that when you use the green on these kind of Hope Tech pieces, it gives it kind of a cool camo effect. But yeah, that was the Jade Swan based on the Renegade. There is some, like I said, there's some slight differences. The base Renegade and its kind of its like tiered versions, they have different turret layouts. and different kind of shielding and stuff like that. But yeah, pretty cool ship. It kind of has a unique kind of spot to me because it's the kind of it's the first ship, unless you do one of those situations where you accidentally jump in a ship that's leaving, which you're not really like you're allowed to do that and you can do that, but this is where you actually board a ship and you see it take off, and like you have cool little interactions with the crew where like if you try and talk to the captain, Juan tells you to stop not doing that because he needs to concentrate, which is kind of cool. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy these sort of videos. I'm going to be doing more of them because there's quite a few unique ships. Yeah, as always, guys, don't forget to subscribe if you like this sort of content, and thanks for watching.